Hello? Hey! How you doing? You guys hunting? What's that? Well, hey folks, my name is Brad. If you happen to be new to my videos, I explore the mountains of Vermont, searching for treasure with my metal detector. And today's video is part of my misadventure series, days that just don't go quite as planned. On today's misadventure, I find myself revisiting some ruins on a massive piece of mountain property. I was under the impression that I had the whole place to myself, but as it turned out, I wasn't as alone as I thought. It is the end of October, almost November, and we just have a few leaves hanging on. And today I am at a place I've been a couple times this year, and honestly the last time I was here I didn't find much, but there were so many ferns I really didn't have the opportunity to search as much as I would have liked. So we'll hopefully be able to find a few more things today. And it is, in Vermont, archery season for deer. So I have my orange hat on. But, I mean, it's late enough in the day. I don't think we're gonna see anybody out here. And we actually have 2 or 3 foundations to investigate today. Now that the ferns have mostly died off, it's harder to see all the game trails. I think it's this direction. This area has been heavily cut recently, and so there are skidder trails everywhere. It's easy to get turned around. You can see there's one that way and one that way. I think it's this way. Double check my map, but let's just explore. I'm pretty sure it's this way. Changed my mind. I'm gonna check my map. I was wrong. It's that way. Should we bushwhack? Sure. So this is what I like to see right here. All these ferns would have been probably chest high on me. There are still some low-laying ones left, but these were all a real big problem trying to swing a metal detector. So now that they're gone, hopefully we can find some more stuff amongst them. And last time I was here, I noticed along this little brook, there's all of this stacked stone. I didn't metal detect any of this because it was so engulfed in ferns. So we're gonna check that out today. First of all, I'm gonna walk up around this curve to the foundation and set down all of my stuff. All right, well, here's the foundation. And since this is a massive piece of privately owned land, and a lot of people have a very poor understanding that being here and hunting would be trespassing without permission, when I get to a place like this, it's nice and open. I can imagine somebody setting up a tree stand. I usually like to shout out, see if anybody's there, just in case. Hello? Hey! All's quiet. All right, so we will set up, get the metal detector out, set down all my gear and bags, see if we can find a few things. 65. Seems to be lots of targets around here, so we'll see. 65. Wow, that is just a tiny little button. Nice old white bronze button. And I actually just got a text message from the landowner saying that a friend is currently at her home who has 100 acres somewhere else and wants to talk to me about doing some metal detecting there. But she's like, oh, can you hike out and have a chat? But I'm like a half an hour hike into the woods. So I said, you know, could we maybe do it at the end of the day? Hopefully I didn't ruin it, but just getting started here. Well, I just turned on my GoPro to film a target, but I keep on seeing this shadow for my head. I think it's a big hawk. Oh, there's two of them. Yeah, it's red tail. Keep passing in front of the sun, and I see this big shadow right in front of me. Well, there's a lot of iron in this very small area, so this might be trash, but we'll investigate it, because sometimes it's reading up in the mid-90s. That is a big square nail. In great condition, as far as square nails go. There's iron. Yeah, that was it. Now we've got a very loud 77 under this bush. Let's check it out. It's in my hand. A button. And all of these in one little area here with shanks still attached. I'm wondering if the whole garment was here. Found a couple of these tiny little, they match? Let's see. No, different. Same size, but different construction. Just interesting. Got a very shallow 31. Seems like it's right on top. It's probably lead, judging by how low it is. Nope. What do we have here? Somebody's Kit Kats. It's a whole little pile of garbage. Peculiar. Hunter, I would guess. Standing here, got hungry. We'll carry this out. Unlike the last guy. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe they dropped it. After spending about an hour at this first stone cellar and finding only a few old buttons, I started the hike to the second location on this property. On the way, far in the distance, I spotted two figures who were already watching me approach. So I decided to head over and see what they were up to. How you doing? You guys hunting? What's that? Gotcha. I'm Brad. I have permission from saw you guys standing here, so I thought I'd introduce myself. Alright. Well, if you see me on your trail cams, you don't know who it is.
Have any pictures yet?
No. No, I'm doing some metal detecting. Obviously there's an old building there, but it's all grown up. I think I'm gonna walk by and
Pretty nasty now, yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be a lot better 10 years ago.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It seems like they've done a lot of logging out here, like in the last 10 years.
Yeah, it was about 10 years ago the last time they got it.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna head east.
We're headed out of here.
All right. All right, guys. Nice to meet you. So the foundation is obviously right here, and there's been lots of logging debris thrown into the hole itself, and I really am interested in this edge. So I'm actually going to start pulling some of this stuff out. I've searched around here. I didn't find anything, so I'm going to put it there. Hopefully these aren't going to be too heavy for me here. All right, let's give that a try. Got a pretty loud 65. That's an old button. Yeah, right in the middle of all of these dead ferns, which I wasn't able to get to 2 months ago. This is an old white bronze button. Could be as early as 1700s, probably early 1800s. We can see that, of course, the shank is broken off. Sometimes we'll find them without a shank and we can assume that it broke and that's why it was lost, or sometimes we find them with the loop still there and can assume that the thread broke the days before. Synthetic thread, and they were much weaker. Very hopeful we're going to find some good stuff in these ferns today. All right, stick around in here. This sounds like a real big piece of iron. Let's see what it is. Feel it. Probably could have guessed. Oftentimes, iron will sound very, very good if it's circular. There we have a little horseshoe. Nails still in it. Yep, we know that they were up here using horses for everything, obviously travel. They're cutting down logs, dragging those. Not an uncommon find. And honestly, I typically don't dig up those big iron targets, but since we are in such an old place, it could very potentially be something very interesting. Well, if you guys recognize that, one of the reasons I wanted to come back here today was to grab that, because another permission that I was on earlier, they do maple sugaring, and apparently they have this same exact evaporator, and they're missing a door. So wouldn't you believe it, I know where one is. We're gonna take it. I really don't want to carry it out with me today, but oh goodness gracious, we're gonna try. Gotta figure out how to attach it to my backpack. Well, I apologize, you can probably see half my head. My backpack is weighed down so much from that stove door. The back flap is sitting a bit lower than usual. Exciting day. I ran into some hunters that were not hunting. Said they were just changing cameras around. And I actually did see a camera. It was in a different place than it was the last time I was here. Now, I don't know if this mode of navigation has a name. It's just the way my dad taught me when I was younger and would go deer hunting. And we didn't have cell phones with GPS on it at the time. Just a compass. But we would stop and then take a bearing, which I'm going to do straight that way. And we pick a tree. I see that big white birch, and I walk towards the birch. And then when you get there, you take another bearing. That way you walk in a nice straight line, because it is very, very easy to do this. And I don't have the energy for that today, so nice straight lines. There's one last foundation hole I wanted to check before we get out of here. Well, that is what we never want to see when walking through the woods. Well, onwards and upwards, one step at a time, I guess. At least it's beautiful, right? Well, the foundation is right over here. I see, laying on the ground. Now, these haven't really changed much over the last 100 years or so. I don't think it's from the habitation of this home, but I think it is relatively old. I don't see any maker's marks or anything on it, but no bullet holes. I would have expected this would have made a good target for some bored campers, but I guess not. It's not 1700s, of course, or likely even 1800s, but could be 100 years old. Right on the edge of the foundation here, we have a 76. This. Yep. Look at that. So that is an awesome old table knife. Really cool. Very loud, 75. Well, what do we have here? Oh, wow. Okay, that took me a minute. There's a crazy sound coming from the tree above me. And I just looked. There's a big bird at the very top. I think my good camera won't zoom that far. Oh, it's a crow. It's just a crow making a crazy sound up there. Well, this is a jingle bell or a crowdle bell. And I didn't recognize it at first because, as you can see, it is just absolutely unrecognizably crushed. These were used for lots of different things, including as a sleigh bell, right? On a string of leather around the horses. And sometimes they'd fall off, and as we can probably guess from this one, is that it was stepped on by a horse and was just totally destroyed. But we are able to identify it here. We can see there's a small hole here and the raised seam around the outside, and it is solid brass or bronze in the ferns here, in the dead ferns. We're finding some good stuff. Well, just got a text from the landowner, said that her and her friend are still there. I'm about 10 minutes away. So it looks like we'll be able to have that chat and figure out a day to go check out some more cellar holes, hopefully more productive than the ones we were at today. Although today was a bit of a Hail Mary, because the last time I was here, I didn't really find much, and I was really counting on finding a few things in those dead ferns, which I didn't. I mean, I did. I found maybe 10 buttons. That was about it. A failure of a day, but I'm hoping when I bring this evaporator door to that landowner, he will allow me to spend the day metal detecting. Lost. I think it's this way. And we picked up probably, hopefully, another group of cellar holes on a different piece of property. So this does not seem right. I think I took a wrong turn. You're seeing me get lost in real time here. No, I think this is right. Didn't get a typical weekly video filmed. Hopefully we picked up 2 more places to go.